Looks like we're good.
Good morning. We'll call this the August 18th Board of Commissioners meeting to order. Will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have first up 3 sets of minutes to approve.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion we approve the minutes from our joint special meeting with commissioners and council from 6/24, the Board of Commissioners Township Assistance meeting from 8/4, and our regular meeting minutes from 8/4.
Second?
Okay, motion and a second to approve these 3 sets of minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Presentation of accounts and payable.
Mr. President, I'd like to recommend the claims dated August 6th, 2025 through August 18th, 2025 to be approved with one exception from the auditor in the amount of $206.88 for a medical license that was not itemized in a grant award and not considered a supply.
What was the amount again?
$206.88.
Move for approval with the one exception carved out.
I would also like to make a motion that we exclude the past rent for that same claim simply because it was not in the original submittal for that as a request. It was originally scheduled to be for programming and not rent.
Are you making that as an amendment?
Yes, a motion.
You're making that as a motion. Okay, so we have a motion to also include possibly past rent that was submitted. Is there a second?
Well, I'm a little
We
confused. So
have
you
to
got,
split the two.
well, you got a motion, and you don't have a second for the original motion yet. You've got a proposed amendment, which I guess is at that stage a suggestion for a friendly amendment. So you could accept that amendment and amend your initial motion to incorporate what Commissioner Murtaugh said, or you can say that you want your original motion to stand. If you get a second, Commissioner Murtaugh could propose that amendment, see if there's a second. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
It does. I would ask that my initial motion stand.
Okay, so
Now, you don't have a second yet.
Well,
but I'll second that.
Okay.
And then I'll ask that also be amended to include the past rent.
okay, so we have an amendment before the motion, and that is to also include the past rent, and that's like $52.50, isn't it? Submit over wire.
That particular
Okay, so
claim.
we have a motion on the amendment.
10,500.
You got a motion on the floor and a proposed amendment.
Right, So we have vote on the amendment? right. Is there a second for the amendment? Not hearing a second. We now have the original motion to approve claims minus as proposed. Okay, all in favor of that proposal? Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Okay. Now we have presentation of payroll.
Excuse me, Mr. President, I'd like to recommend the payroll dated August 15th, 2025 be approved without exception.
So moved?
Second.
Motion and second to approve payroll. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Stewart, Highway.
Good morning. Got one item with no amendments. We have County Road 500 East Reconstruction Project. This is parcel 20 from Irving Materials. We have a warranty deed in the amount of $182,050 and a parcel 20A temporary easement in the amount of $750.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we approve the warranty deed for $182,050 and the temporary highway easement grant for $750 as presented.
Second.
Motion is second to approve this warranty deed and temporary easement. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Thank you. Sadie, 2026 holiday schedule.
Good morning. I am requesting approval of our 2026 holiday schedule. It's a election year, so we will not have floating holidays in '26. We will be off the election days.
And with the exception of election days, it follows the state's.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we approve the 2026 holiday schedule as presented.
Second.
Motion is second to approve the holiday schedule. I guess for the record, I'll read it off real quick for everyone. We have New Year's Day, January 1st, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, January 19th, President's Day, February 16th, Good Friday, April 3rd, Primary Election Day, May 5th, Memorial Day, May 25th, Juneteenth, June 19th, Independence Day, observed, July 3rd, Labor Day, September 7th, Columbus Day, October 12th, General Election Day, November 3rd, Veterans Day, November 11th, Thanksgiving Day, November 26th, Thanksgiving Holiday, November 27th, Christmas Eve Holiday, December 24th, Christmas Day Holiday, December 25th. So we have a motion and a second to approve that schedule. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. All
And-
right, we have an ordinance.
Sorry, I have one clarification. For this year's holiday schedule, there was some confusion because we came back and amended it. So I want to clarify that we're off on Veterans Day this year, not observing on Monday. It's Tuesday, November 11th. That will be off for 2025.
Thank you. All right, we have an ordinance.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we hear ordinance 2025-25-CM, petition to vacate a platted utility and drainage easement.
Second.
Okay, Doug or petitioner?
I'll just open it up, but you'll want, so this is to vacate a utility and drainage easement. The two parcel owners were the petitioners. It's been advertised for public hearing now as required. There was some holdup. I don't know that that was done originally, but that's been done. The notice to the adjacent landowners wasn't necessary because the petitioners are the adjacent landowners. They got sign off by a utility company and the surveyor on the drainage easement. So you'll want to ask if there's any, you might want the petitioner to present the case and then ask if there's any public hearing and then vote on passage.
Okay, thank you. Petitioner?
Hi, I'm Tony Hardebeck, president of Hardebeck Development. And what kind of questions have you guys got on the?
Just for the record, can you confirm it's a platted easement that goes through your property and the adjacent landowner, and neither of you needs it for the future?
Yeah, there was no actual drainage swell, and we're actually moving the utility easement around to the new property line. And it just made these two lots way more desirable.
And I think it's reflected in the file as it was last time we took a stab at this, that the surveyor has reviewed this and finds everything in order.
Correct.
And we do have a signed letter from surveyors saying so. Okay. Is there anyone in the public who would like to speak about this ordinance, whether for or against or such? Any questions?
No, sir.
Jennifer?
Brown,
Yes.
Byers,
Yes.
Murtaugh.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-25CM passes 3-0 on first reading.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we suspend the rules and hear the ordinance on second reading.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we hear ordinance 2025-25-CM on second and final reading.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Once again, anyone in the audience want to speak in favor or opposed to this ordinance? Seeing no one. Jennifer?
Murtaugh?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Byers?
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-25 CM passes 3-0 on second and final reading.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we now also have another ordinance.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we hear ordinance 2025-32-CM vacating public way along County Road 100 West.
Second.
Okay, Doug, you want to highlight this one too?
Yeah, I think Ryan Munden's here for the petitioner if we want more information, but this one's in a sort of a different procedural posture. It still needs to, they advertised initially and sent out notices to adjacent landowners, but they had originally petitioned for half the right-of-way because that's all this particular landowner, I think, really needs. But after some discussion with the highway department, they were agreeable because we don't need the remaining half width to amend that to just have this be a petition for vacating the whole width. I thought I would ask them to come in and confirm that in case there are any questions about the initial advertisement and whatnot. But also I wanted to have this ordinance move forward on first reading before you had the public hearing. In this process, I learned that that's kind of the way the city of Lafayette does it. And I think we learned from the previous petition that if you have it on first reading before you advertise or think you're going to have a public hearing, it gives you an opportunity to clear up any misconceptions. So going forward, I think I'm going to recommend that you do this first reading before the public hearing and then get the one, that'll give you opportunity to clean things up. Two, it tracks what the city of Lafayette does, so people who do this frequently won't get confused as between the two places. But I don't know if this, and just generally the substance of it is vacating, I think, 608 feet of right-of-way north of Round Table Road. And I don't know if you had any questions for the petitioner at this point.
Petitioner?
Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Ryan Munden with RTS Law on behalf of BC West Lafayette Land Holdings LLC. As you'll recall, our client recently received your approval for a planned development research village phase 3. So this vacation is being requested as part of our prep for finalizing our final detailed plans that are going to be submitted. So because Round Table Drive runs through the middle of our client's property, this stretch of 100 West will no longer be necessary. I've handed you some slides that show exactly where this is located. The southern portion of 100 West south of Round Table is not being vacated. That will be needed to access Mr. Faust's property, so that will essentially become his private driveway. But everything north will no longer be needed, and vacating it will not cut off access to anyone. So be happy to answer any questions you have.
There was a new road construction in that area, wasn't there?
Sorry?
There's some road construction in that area that makes this less necessary.
Right,
Is that
Round Table goes through the property, and then the Jaeger extension to the east and cuts over the north side of it. Yep.
Okay.
So this may be more of a question for Stu, but, obviously, as Mr. Munden stated, the southern section of 100 cannot be vacated because it provides access to the property to the west. But what about the east-west section? Will we be vacating that at a different time?
The east-west section to the south,
To the south, yeah.
that's being vacated because of the annexation. West Lafayette is vacating it now.
Okay.
And we filed that vacation. It's been heard on first reading and approved, and the public hearing and second reading will be on September 2nd for that vacation.
Okay. Thank you.
And then, as part of this whole project, there's also a pending disannexation petition that's been filed with Board of Works for West Lafayette for the northern half of that east-west section of 100.
Okay.
As well as a portion of the Round Table extension, so.
So the portion that will be the northern portion of what will be vacated will become Buckingham property and
And county.
will be in the county.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
And I should have mentioned, just in case anybody was here for the originally noticed public meeting, the public hearing on this is scheduled for September 2nd, which is a Tuesday because your normal Monday meeting's delayed because of Labor Day.
Okay. Okay, any questions? Anyone in the audience want to speak for or oppose to this ordinance? Not. Jennifer?
Byers,
Yes?
Murtaugh,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-32 CM passes 3-0 on first reading.
Okay. And once again, they will be heard on second reading on our September 2nd meeting. Okay. An addendum to a temporary right of entry agreement. Doug, you again?
Sure. Yeah, this, you'd previously entered into an agreement to allow the property owner at the old YWCA property to access your property on 6th Street to do some renovations. It originally expired, well, I don't have that down here, but in any case, they needed it extended through September 30th, 2025, so this addendum extends their right of entry to get onto your parking lot to do their renovation.
Okay. Entertain a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Motion and second to approve this temporary right of entry agreement. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That passes. Grants. Sharon?
Good morning. This morning, I'd like to ask permission for the EMA and the Sheriff's Office to apply for the State Homeland Security Program, FY25, requesting funds for the national priority of enhancing the protection of soft targets and crowded places.
So moved.
Second?
Motion is second to grant permission to apply as stated. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? That passes.
Thank you. And the Emergency Preparedness of the Health Department received an award letter for their grant agreement for their PHEP grant funding in the amount of $20,000 to further the public health emergency preparedness capabilities and ongoing programming.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion is second to grant permission to accept. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other unfinished or new business need to come before the board? If not, we have reports on file, Clerk of the Circuit Court, the Coroner's Office, Rural Transportation Quarterly Report, TIPMont/Wintech, and Tippecanoe Public Library. Treasurer also.
Tracy, were you going to do something on the
Yeah, we should,
RFPQ?
on the ARPA and the bot.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was new business or...
Yeah, under new business, we have, obviously, we received bids for the Buck Creek Colburn wastewater project back in April and early May. And the result of that was that even with the low bidders, the project is still about $3.4 million short. So we have looked at a lot of different potential changes to the project that might ultimately give us some cost savings and just aren't able to squeeze that amount of money out of the project. So the next step for us is to use another procurement method and potentially entice some additional interest in the construction community and doing that by way of, we call it a BOT, build, operate, transfer. This won't include the operations part or the transfer part, but we will have that published on, I believe it's Wednesday of this week, and then published again in 7 days, and then enter a scoping period with a selected or selected contractors.
And then just wanted to get on the record, there's going to be a review committee that makes a recommendation to the commissioners, and it's my understanding the review committee is going to be Commissioner Brown, the highway director, and the surveyor.
That is correct. Did I miss anything?
It technically does have some operation and transfer elements, but they're not significant. But it's just how the statutory process works.
Okay, that's the update.
Okay. Thank you for the update. Any public comment?
Good morning. Kenny
Morning.
McClary, 942 Chepstow Lane, West Lafayette, Indiana. Thank you again for your action to implement a moratorium on utility-scale solar projects in June and setting in motion a process to determine what smart and responsible utility-scale solar needs to look like in Tippecanoe County. Next week, Gen X is going to tout a survey they paid for that shows a majority of Tippecanoe residents want renewable energy. That may be true. But as with any survey, it's all about how you ask the question. I've been conducting my own very informal and very unscientific unpaid survey at county fairs, local festivals, meetings, tours, discussions with our state elected representatives, and a lot of our citizens. My results would paint just a slightly different picture. People support the action you took to hit the pause button on large-scale solar approvals. Almost to a person, people I spoke with would prefer to see the Gen X project come forward after the county has completed a thoughtful and review of solar ordinance guardrails, as you've proposed. Now, we know that we can't enforce that sequence. It's now clear that Gen X and RWE do not want their project to be subject to any revised ordinances. The incomplete and insufficient aspects of their submittal would be exposed. The harms their project would cause would be exposed. They know their ordinance review discussions would confirm this is just a bad project in a bad location, and it would fall short of the common sense and balanced approach I'm very confident that Tippecanoe County will put in place. New ordinances would show how this project is just bad for the environment, bad for the county, and yes, even bad for the property owners involved. Their refusal to withdraw this project and honor your moratorium decision shows their real motives. They rushed this incomplete filing forward to the APC to beat your moratorium active date. Their urgency reveals that this is just a hurried money grab to capture $50 million in federal subsidies for their foreign parent companies. Their latest proposed site layout, unveiled last week, is another desperate attempt to avoid your moratorium and try to fix their project. The proposal contained a haphazard set of promised setbacks. It actually creates a new set of risks, harms, and environmental problems. They made their project worse. The disclaimers in it allow them to basically do whatever they want to do after they get the BZA approval. Their clumsy revision confirmed what we've been saying all along. Changes are needed in large-scale solar ordinances to ensure consistent and adequate protections are in place. Piecemeal cosmetic changes cannot cure a patient with a terminal disease. At the Board of Zoning Appeals meeting on August 27th, I will speak in opposition to the Gen X project along with many, many other citizens. We will present a long list of facts and reasons to deny this project, the incomplete aspects, the deficiencies, and all the various forms of harm it will cause. Other elected officials and organizations will speak that night and join us in asking the BZA to deny the special exception. I ask each of you as commissioners to consider also speaking in opposition. You took a wise step when you enacted your moratorium and called for a pause in large-scale solar approvals. We now know, as a result of looking into this project, that your action headed off a flood of similar utility-scale solar projects filings from out-of-state groups that were quietly being planned in Tippecanoe County. Oppose this intentional effort by Gen X to avoid your ordinance review and revision process you have initiated. On August 27th, give your own concerns on why this specific project is just wrong for Tippecanoe County. And I would also repeat my invitation to our APC Executive Director and Assistant Director to come and tour the site for themselves and see what would be, if approved, the largest single private use of land in this county's history. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment? Not seeing anyone.
Move to adjourn.
Meeting adjourned.